Music theory is a must for all musicians in order to sing, play, or create music. However, we also need to learn music history. And you may wonder, why is that, Miss Glory? Well, today I'm going to share with you my #1 secret. The secret is the #1 way to teach music history to make it memorable, and why we need to learn these powerful lessons. In Ultimate Music Theory Expert Tip #5, Learn Articulation and Dynamics, you learned why we need to learn Italian terms and how these musical terms change everything. In UMT Expert Tip #6, Learn Music History, you will discover not only the facts about music history, but also how you can learn from influential composers and musicians throughout history to give you a deeper understanding of how the sound of music creates an image in our mind, an emotion in our hearts, and it takes us on a journey of expression. For the best Ultimate Music Theory expert tips on how to teach UMT, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video. I'm Glory St. Germain from Ultimate Music Theory. Now, before I reveal the #1 way to teach UMT music history, let's examine 3 fun facts. Are you ready? When you teach UMT in the Level 1 Supplemental Workbook, you teach this together after the Prep 1 Rudiments Workbook and the Prep Level Supplemental Workbook. Now, one of the concepts we learn about are the orchestral instruments and composers in music history. So here's some fun facts. Fun fact #1. When you teach UMT in the Level 1 Supplemental Workbook on page 36, let's take a sneak peek inside. On page 36, I love this page because what you can do is you can actually see and learn about the orchestral families. So, orchestral instrument families in music history. And you might say, well, Glory, what does that even mean? Well, when you think about family, it means that you have something in common. And there are 4 instrument families, and we're going to learn about them right now. So the 4 instrument families are, first, the string instrument family. Let's meet the families. The string family instruments, they're made of wood or metal, and they have strings that vibrate to create sound. Woodwind family instruments, divided into 2 sections where players blow across the tip of a tube or blow into one or more reeds. The brass instrument families, moving on down the line, create sound when a player blows and vibrates their lips against the mouthpiece of the instruments. The percussion family instruments create sound when they are hit or rubbed or shaken, and so on. Now there's one more family known as other, which includes the acoustic piano, because it is like a percussion instrument as you play the keys with your fingers. However, the keys lift the hammers inside the acoustic piano that strike the strings. So it's called other. Fun fact #2. When you teach the UMT Level 1 Supplemental Workbook on page 37, you learn about how the instruments each have their own unique sound and pitch and range. So, what happens with our musical instruments? Well, different instruments throughout history have been used to create sound effects that are used for dramatic effects in concerts and movies, in video games, in ringtones on your phone, and so much more. So these sounds really help us to imagine, to feel an emotion. Think about that. Comment below and tell me what's one thing your students ask about when you're teaching music history. Now, I've created a free gift for you, the Ultimate Music Teacher's Guide, that you can download right now, and the link is in the description below. Just my little present for you. Let me know how you enjoy it. Fun fact #3. When you teach UMT Level 1 Supplemental Workbook on page 38, you will learn about how composers in music history had different styles and used specific instruments to create an image or an emotion in their music. So let's take a look on page 38. Wow, check it out. So think about this. Think about what the sound of a bird flying in the sky would sound like. What would that sound like if you were an instrument? Would you use the high sound of a flute or the low bass sound of a timpani drum? Well, imagine what the sound of a hunter's gunshots would be like. Would you use the high sound of a flute or the low sound of a timpani drum? Music history clearly shows how composers use specific instruments in their music. And they have left us secrets, and they've shared their personal experiences throughout history. Now, I'm about to reveal a little something else. When we think about composers, we think about their styles, we think about their instruments, and we think about the image that their music is going to present for us. And I also want to reveal my secret. Are you ready? The one word to learning music history that will make it memorable. And that one word is storytelling. Yes, storytelling. The number one way to remember music history is through storytelling. In fact, there are many composers that have used this technique in their music as well. And in the Level 1 Supplemental Workbook, you will learn about storytelling through music in Peter and the Wolf by Prokofiev. Now, Peter and the Wolf is a story about a boy named Peter who opens up the gate and he walks out into the meadow. And there on a branch, Peter meets his friend the bird. And the story continues with the arrival of the duck and the cat and the grandfather and, of course, the wolf. Eventually, they're joined by the hunters, and the music helps tell the story as each character is represented by a specific instrument that creates a unique sound to help us imagine each character as the story unfolds. Prokofiev shares his storytelling through music, as each character is represented by one specific instrument. Now, this teaches us the way that instruments sound and how you can imagine the animal as it relates to the story of the sound that it creates. So storytelling in learning music history makes it memorable, and it also makes it relatable. And as you learn more about music history and these powerful and influential musicians and composers, you will have a deeper understanding of how music styles have evolved and continue to do so. So have your students watch the video and listen to the music of Prokofiev's Peter and the Wolf on our website at ultimatemusictheory.com, free resources page. And while completing the questions on page 38 and 39 in the Level 1 Supplemental Workbook. Now here's the cool thing. When you are on page 38 and 39 in the Ultimate Music Theory Supplemental Workbook, you will see that you can listen to the music. And again, the videos are all available for you at ultimatemusictheory.com on the free resources. And as you're listening to the music, you're going to go ahead and complete the answers. You know, here is our little friend Peter. And what instrument is depicted by him, his character? Here's our little bird. What instrument is they using? You'll go through all of it. The other cool thing is that for you as a teacher, and I know you're busy as a teacher, we've also created the Ultimate Music Theory answer books. And these are just an easy resource with all the answers for you so you can quickly assess your students' learning and get on with teaching and not worry about trying to figure out all the answers and do it all yourself. So another little gift from us. So what instrument do you play? Imagine you were a specific animal or a character in a story. Would you be portrayed as a high sound, or would you be a low sound? Would you be loud, or would you be soft? Would you be fast, or would you be slow? What musical elements and sounds would describe you and your character? Well, when you teach UMT music history, play the guess what kind of character I am. Play the game with your students. It's fun. Share your experience in the Ultimate Music Theory Facebook group. We would love to hear from you and your character and about what instrument you chose and why. For more information on how you can join our community and teach UMT, simply go to teachumt.com. We've helped thousands of musicians and music teachers master music theory concepts and implement all these tips into their teaching, both in-person and online music theory lessons. So to learn more about how you can teach UMT, go to teachumt.com. I'll see you inside. Now, in expert tip number 7, you will learn about pulse in simple time. You will discover how to determine the pulse in simple time, strong, weak, or medium pulse, and you will learn how to teach UMT's rhythm and rest system using the plus and the tilde signs to determine when and how to combine more than one rest to complete a measure. Till next time, teach with passion.